There we go. All right, what's up, guys? Kyle Spears here, the Blacklisted Voice, episode 13. We're here with Braeden Cordts. Braeden is working with Matt right now. Has been for about how long, Braeden?
About a year now.
Yeah, yep. So coming up on a year. So we're just gonna sit down, kind of chat with Braeden, and get to know him a little bit more. You want to introduce yourself, Braeden?
All right, guys. I'm Braeden Cordts. I'm a 23-year-old chiropractic student, competitive fitnesser, if we can call it that right now, and I coach at two CrossFit gyms and getting married in October. So that's about sums up everything right now.
Yeah, got a lot
And
going on.
dog owner.
Yeah, that's
one
right.
on the resume.
What kind of dog is it?
Chocolate Lab, and she's a hyper one. She's
Oh,
a little
yeah.
crazy.
Did you guys go to the humane shelter to pick them out, or?
No, so at the start of COVID, we were looking around, and all the humane societies, they were sold out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think they only had a couple dogs, and we like bigger dogs, or at least I do. And I persuaded my fiance into getting a lab. I've always had labs, so we found a breeder, and we had to pick her up 6 weeks old. Typically they do 8, just to be around the mom more. And
Okay.
picked her up at 6 weeks, and that was right before the state shut down. So it was crazy timing, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least you probably had a lot of time to train her then.
Yes, some would say that the training's not really working, but she's as long as she's a happy and growing dog, she's good.
Yeah. Do you guys have a backyard to let her run around in, or?
So fun fact, we bought a house with a yard for the puppy. You can't make this up. So we were living in a townhome when we got her, and then we went up to my parents' cabin. She was running around in like the lake in the backyard there, and I looked at my fiance and I'm like, we need to get a yard. Like, what do you think about renting out our townhome and then getting a house? And 2 days later, we put a bid in on a house, and it was the first house we put a bid in, and this is the new house we're in. So.
Oh, sweet, legit. That's awesome.
So we've been in here for about 2.5 weeks, and it's been a crazy time. So
yeah, that's sick.
yeah. So yes, we bought a house for our dog. So
yeah, we bought a house for our dog.
a little crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So give us a little background on like your fitness history. Did you play like sports growing up or anything like that?
So I've been playing, or I played hockey ever since I could remember. I think my dad got me on skates when I was like 3. And I'm a Minnesota boy, so
yeah, I was just about to say classic Minnesota thing.
yes, very much so. So I played hockey, did baseball, and then played soccer here and there, and then just golf for fun. High school, I really got into. I mean, hockey and baseball were the core two, and so I played soccer my freshman year, but I had a knee surgery, and the doctor said I couldn't play soccer anymore. I couldn't run anymore, and now I'm running I don't know how much for training.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing soccer, and then I just played hockey and baseball, and then took like a hiatus my freshman and sophomore year of college of not really doing anything, and then I found fitness and found CrossFit, and kind of filled that void of competitiveness. So now we've been doing that for, I think we're coming up on year 4 of fitnessing. So
okay, sweet. Yeah. How'd you find it? Did you just like Google CrossFit or walk into a gym? Like
I think I just kind of Googled it, and then I had enough money because I had an engineering internship.
Okay.
And I had enough money to actually pay for a membership and start. And then a year later, I'm like, well, if I get my L1 and coach, I don't have to pay for a membership. So ended up going that route, and to avoid paying for a membership. So
nice. That's sweet. Yeah, I think that was a big thing back in the day. I definitely got my L1 and then just like found a gym I could coach at for a membership, basically.
Yep, and then it grew into more of a passion for coaching, and then I figured out that engineering was not what I wanted to do. And then
Yeah.
did this whole, threw a curveball into it all, stopped engineering school, and now I'm a chiropractic student and coaching 14 classes a week because, I mean, it's what I enjoy. I like
Yeah.
helping people get a little healthier, a little fitter.
For sure. For sure. So when, like, at what point in time did you know that like you didn't want to go the engineering route?
Um, so I worked at a company for about three rotations or 3 semesters.
Yeah.
And, I just didn't click for me.
Mhm.
I didn't like sitting at a desk and in that corporate setting. I don't know if it was the company or if it was just the internship or if it just wasn't for me. And then I kind of
Yeah.
talked to my parents about it. At that time, I was still living with them, and my mom convinced me to go back to engineering school, give it one more semester. And I got through halfway of that semester, and I'm like, I'm done. I dropped out of the engineering program, and then
Mhm.
I enrolled the next semester at Northwestern Health Science here in Minnesota. So
Okay. So did you kind of have in the back of your mind like I want to do chiropractic, or was that just kind of like you're done with the semester
um,
and you're like, let's go?
so when I was in high school, I mean, I played hockey, so my back was I always had ribs out. I displaced both clavicles, broke one, broke 5 ribs. Like I was a wreck, but like
Yeah.
I was not the finesse guy. I was the guy in the corners. So just to sum it up, so I was seeing a chiropractor all the time, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Kind of what they
Yeah.
do, avoid the medicines and
Mhm.
just more holistic things.
Right. Right.
And so I always thought it was cool. And then, but my dad was an engineer, and my dad's
Okay.
worked for 3M his entire career here in the Twin
Yeah.
Cities. So I've always wanted to kind of follow in his footsteps.
Yep. Yep.
And then when I went to NDSU for mechanical engineering, it just seemed right. And then
Mhm.
I think CrossFit and the sport of fitness and just wanting to help people live healthier lives kind of drew me more to um, chiropractic. So
Yeah. So like what kind of fueled that? Did you kind of find that passion when you were in the CrossFit gym and then you started to kind of like think about it a little bit more?
yeah, I think it was when I was coaching, because a lot of people, they're like, oh, especially when I started chiropractic school, it really fueled it more. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is right. This feels I'm in the right spot.
Hmm.
Um, I think it was when people would ask me, like, it was after the classes, like, hey, my shoulder, it's doing this.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, okay, just like roll that, like smash this part, and then let's do like this activation drill. And then afterwards I would talk with my fiance, and I'm like, yeah, like this is what I I'm meant to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. So it kind of found you almost rather than you finding it.
Yeah, I would say in a gradual way, especially from like finding a CrossFit gym and like everything kind of laid out, like getting the internship, having money to be able to do a CrossFit membership,
Right.
getting the L1, and then coaching, and then like, oh, this makes sense. This is what I'm supposed to do. Everything kind of laid out nicely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Are you so like after do you have any plans like or have thought ahead like after chiropractic school? Are you like looking to
Um,
open your own like facility and a gym or like
so I've been talking with my fiance a lot about that, McKay. And with her starting her own nutrition company, we like
what's the name of it?
the core method.
You guys want to look that up? Instagram, they have an Instagram, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
So at the core method, I believe is the Instagram handle. So right now it's all nutrition, and the two nutrition coaches is McKay Zern and then Jesse Hill. Um, and kind of like the 5-year plan is to get an actual building and then have
Mm.
like a one-stop shop of like chiropractic, nutrition, personal training,
Yeah.
kind of just encompass everything. There is
Yeah.
a chiropractor right now that's kind of mentoring me. Uh,
Okay.
his name is Josh Geidel. So if anyone in the Twin Cities wants to go out to Hastings and get worked on, his name's Josh Geidel. He's awesome. He's kind of showed me what chiropractic like can be.
Yeah.
He's not your traditional, like, I'm just going to crack your neck, your back, and hips and get you out the door. He'll spend, I think the shortest time I've been with him was 40 minutes or
nice.
something like that. So he's more of dry needling, cupping, and then a quick adjustment after all that.
Okay.
So my original plan was to join him. I know when I get out of school, I'm not going to open up something alone. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
Especially the business stuff, there's a lot of things that go into it. So, I'm hoping that I can join him and we can all go under the name, like the core method, and one-stop shop. So
have you talked to him about this?
Yep. I've talked to him a little bit about it, and he did mention that. Yes, yeah. I'm not just making this up for him on the spot here.
Just an FYI, Jesse.
Yeah, no, exactly. So, he did say he was thinking about like changing his name, and then we kind of dropped the idea of this.
Okay,
and, And then he was also curious with McKay starting her own nutrition company. He's like, so are we still joining up together afterwards? And I'm like, in an ideal world, yes, and under the core method name.
Yeah.
So cool. that's I would say the 5-year plan, and and then like right when I get out of school, I'll join him, and if that's with the core method, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet. Well, it sounds like you have some exciting plans coming up here.
Yes, it's just a matter of getting them all to lay out perfectly.
Right. That's the easier said than done part. For sure.
Yep. Probably a lot of legal things that I have no clue about right now.
Yeah. There's especially from like the insurance, like if you guys are going to bill insurance or anything like that. I don't know what you guys are planning on doing, but
I don't even know that stuff yet. I'm taking a bunch of like employment law classes right now.
Oh yeah.
And that stuff, it's just when I'm learning it, it's just over my head. I'm like,
you're like, this is not what I signed up to do.
I like the anatomy and the muscles and stuff like that, and the spine, what we're supposed to do, and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, that's wait on that one.
Yeah, do you guys get tested on that, or is that just like informational class?
I honestly don't know if it's on our boards, but that class, you'll have a final, and that's about it, and I haven't heard of anyone failing one of those classes. Hopefully I'm not first.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's on our boards. I think the boards is more just basic science, and then more chiropractic specified stuff.
Right on. When do you take boards?
So I'll be taking boards, I think next winter or something like that. So I split. So I'm not doing the full program and like the full classes because I like to train, I like to coach, I like to have my life. I decided that I needed to split, so I'm only taking 16 credits, which for most people that's a lot, but like for full-blown chiropractic school getting done in 3.5 years, you take 24 to 28 credits a semester.
Oh wow.
So I'm only taking 16 right now just to do what I love, because I know like coaching CrossFit is what got me into chiropractic, and then training as well is, that's a huge part of my life and my sanity.
Right.
So I know like I can't focus on one thing more than the other because they all fuel each other.
Yeah, for sure. I think I was listening to a podcast. I can't remember this guy's name now. He wrote "Obstacle is the Way" and some other.
Ryan Holiday.
Yes, yeah. I was listening to a podcast with him on it. He's like, I try and choose like 5 things to do in my life that all kind of like benefit each other. So like CrossFit benefits chiropractic can benefit CrossFit, coaching can benefit your training, like learning how to be a better athlete, and vice versa. It all kind of like loops inside itself. So that was kind of like a thought that I had when he said that, is like, it all just like benefits itself. So, And he
Yeah.
said it kind of like elevates you to a higher level and everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've read both of or two of his books, Ego is the Enemy, and then The Opposite.
That's the other one. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah,
So I've read both of those books, and yes, those are
yeah.
good.
They're really good. Book recommendation if you guys are listening. Definitely pick those two up.
Yeah, agreed. Especially during this time in COVID and all the obstacles. Obstacle is the way would be a good one right now.
Yes, absolutely. Cool. So you said you've been training with Matt for about a year now. Like, what were you doing before, and how has your training kind of changed since you've been working with Matt?
So with school, it was crazy. I was training with at a local gym with a coach, and I was just feeling burnt out trying to do school and
Yeah.
then his programming. And then I did a competition and I did not perform well. I was
Mm.
just, and I knew I was fried. And I told him I was going to be done competing until school's done. And so I took about a year, and then I just wanted to do some class wads, and
Yeah.
then found that wasn't enough. And then I started doing comp train and
Okay.
just with some other guys, just try to
Yeah.
become a little bit more competitive. And then I realized that I'm like, no, I need to compete. I need to try to be the fittest person I can.
Mm.
And then I did a comp down in Mankato called Game Day Mankato. I was just on a
Yep.
team, so it wasn't too much stress on
Yeah.
me. And then and I have told this individual this, DJ Hiller. I saw a DJ competing, and I saw how he moved,
Mm.
and I'm like, I want to move like him. I want to be like him. And I knew he works with Blacklisted,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that he's also coaching or doing a apprentice program with you guys as well. And
Yep. He was doing a mentorship with us.
yep. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna look up that company and see what I can see if I can, one, afford it, and two, like see what it's about. And then I reached out to you guys, and it's been great ever since. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I just wanted something a little bit more like professional,
Mm.
and something just to take it off my hands. Like I don't have to worry about it,
Yeah.
and I can put my trust in a coach. And honestly, Matt's been fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I no complaints there. I mean, there's been a couple weekends that I sent him a message on Friday that like, hey, I'm going to the cabin. Like, what do you need me to bring? Like, can you change my programming for me? And he sends me a message like an hour later, and he changed like the entire weekend so I could go to the cabin.
Yeah. That's sweet.
He's been awesome. Highly recommend Matt and Blacklisted. I mean, you guys like the stress of training, like wondering what I should be doing has gone away.
Yeah.
And like my body, and I would say my fitness level hasn't been better. So
Yeah. Yeah. He's been telling me some of your times, the 21:15:9 that, or you hit 50 deadlifts and like three something at 3:15 recently.
yeah, which I hate deadlifts. Like I'm 6'1", and like I know at like my height and my weight, I think I'm at like 208 right now. I've been trying to keep it lower so I can do strict handstand push-ups and
It's a
stuff like
battle.
that. But yeah, like that. Yeah, I hate that. And we've been focusing on deadlifts, and I know I'm getting better at it.
Yeah.
Hate it. I still hate it.
Yeah. I mean, there's gonna definitely be things in the sport you hate for
Oh, yeah.
your entire life. Your entire
Agreed. But
time.
I am getting better at those.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think over quarantine, or if you want to call it quarantine,
Yeah, whatever it
I
is.
50 deadlifts for time at 315 was our benchmark. And
Okay.
I remember the first time we did, I think I got 5 something, and I
Which is
did
still a pretty respectable score. Like,
I was okay with it. I did the typical CrossFitter like pacing from the start, and
as many as
did
you
like
can.
sets of 5s throughout the entire
Oh,
thing.
okay, okay. That's not the typical CrossFit pacer at all. That's
What?
like the smart way of doing it. Typical CrossFitter is like, I'm gonna rip out 25 and then
Oh,
just do singles
and
the
then
rest
go
of
down to
it.
singles.
Back,
Yeah,
throw
I
down.
guess that's true. That's fair. Yeah, I was sorry. I did the opposite of a CrossFitter and did the over pacing, and
Yeah.
but still, when I get to the last 5 reps, they went down to singles, and I'm like, what the hell? All
Yeah.
right, this was tough. And then we retested it, I think, a month later, and I got 3 something, and I opened up with a set of 20, then and something like that. So
Sounds like you need to be more like a CrossFitter.
apparently, I need to be more like a CrossFitter. So I need to learn to move faster, quicker, and just be more aggressive.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
What
yeah.
what kind of, so like you said you were a bigger athlete and like you're at 208 right now, like what kind of strategies are you using to like kind of stay on the lighter side, but Matt would probably be able to answer this, but like maybe make sure the strength numbers are still increasing. Does that question make sense? Or?
Yeah, so I would say Matt could answer the strength part a little
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
But like on my end, I mean, my fiance, she owns a nutrition company like we were talking about. And I mean, living with my nutrition coach definitely helps to make sure that I'm one, eating enough to perform well and keep strength up.
Yeah.
Then also keeping my body weight low enough so I can do non-big man things like muscle ups and strict handstand push-ups.
Yep.
So, and I mean, those have been going very well. There's been some strength aspects that have, like the deadlift, that has been awesome.
Yeah.
Has gone up very, very well. And then there's been
Yeah.
other things that obviously it's more of that slow grind of trying to progress and keep moving. But and I think with my fiance, we're always trying to find where's that happy medium,
Hmm.
and what's that good weight that one I can focus with training, school, and everything,
Yeah.
and still be able to just be healthy and
Right, right,
perform
right.
well. So
Yeah. So is there like specific numbers you guys are trying to hit macro wise or like calories that you won't go above or?
yep. So we do calorie or macros, and I think right now I'm at we just up my numbers again because I was after my rest day. I train Tuesday through Sunday with Monday
Mhm.
off, so I can kind of focus on school and be ready for the week.
Okay.
I felt really beat up yesterday, even after my Monday off day, and
Yeah.
so she upped my numbers again, just by about 200 calories, and but she added that just to carbs.
Okay.
Right now, I think I'm hitting like 450 carbs, 100 fat, and then 195 protein. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, we're still. I mean, we get those goals, and I mean, I've been tracking macros for I would say over 2 years now, and it's
Okay.
pretty. It doesn't take much stress for me to weigh out stuff and do that anymore.
Yeah. 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 I know that's a big obstacle for a lot of people, myself included.
Yep. Yeah,
So that's
my fiance, I think she gets frustrated with me because I can be like a robot and just go through it and do it every single day, and then
that's like the ideal client. Why is she getting frustrated with you?
because she's not her own ideal client. So if she
Oh, okay.
watches this, I apologize, but you know it's true.
But
Uh,
she knows you.
so but yeah, I mean it is what it is, and um I know when I'm focused, I can really hone in and I can
Yeah,
do that.
for sure, for sure. That's sweet. And so like what has like your weight gain been like throughout kind of this last year, I guess?
So when I first started working with Matt, I was pretty heavy. I because of that kind of hiatus I took, and I wasn't really
Yeah,
focused on training.
yeah.
I was 220, 223.
Okay.
I was really, really, really heavy. And then I remember he had me test some gymnastic stuff, and I also was doing the Dakota Games qualifier right when I started with him. And I
Yeah.
remember I tore the shit out of my hands
Was
during
that
it.
the 21:15:9 workout?
I think so. Of like chest to bar. I just remember I kept tearing the crap on my hands,
Yeah,
and
it was like pull-ups, chest to bar muscle up, 21:15:9 or something like that.
yeah, something like that. And it was awful. And I'm like, okay, I know if I tear my hands, like I need to lose weight. Like that's, and think since then I've only torn my hands once, knock on wood.
Okay.
But so yeah, I know like after that, we went on a cut, and it was kind of nice because the first 2 weeks that you're with Blacklisted, you do more of a like more of a body assessment and little
Mhm.
tests here and here, just to see where you're at. So it was
Yep.
nice that training volume wasn't high and the intensity wasn't very high either. So I was able to really focus on cutting my weight down the first 2 weeks. And I lose weight like it's nothing. It's almost like water weight. And I think I got down to 215 after 2 weeks. And then
Okay.
since then, like if I have a cheat day, I'll hit 215 pretty easy. And then 2 days later, I'll be back down to like 208. So
Dang.
I, so yes,
That's
when
some
I have a
serious water retention.
yes, so when I have a cheat day or a cheat meal, I mean I do it right, and we
Where do
gain
you go? What's
7
your
pounds.
go-to?
All right, so I'm a huge Ben and Jerry's fan. I like
What
the
flavor?
Tonight Dough,
Which one? Oh, tonight dough.
Tonight Dough.
Okay.
But I mean, my fiance and I will go and I mean, we'll grill up steaks or we'll order a bunch of Chinese food and then get ice cream afterwards. So it honestly
You-
depends on what mood we're in and
yeah.
what's available around us.
I think you're the first person I've ever heard say that Chinese food is your go-to cheat meal.
Well, it's the mood. I wouldn't say like that's our go-to. I would say more of like a huge burger or a huge steak, but I think we've had since we've moved into this house, we've had one of them was a Chinese day.
Okay.
Oh, that was just a more recent one.
Yeah. You're like not atypical CrossFitter. Every atypical CrossFitter is like, oh, pizza.
We so I mean, and McKay with her nutrition stuff, it's more of like if it fits your macros, like I mean, you're still dieting because you're still in
Yeah.
a caloric deficit. So I
Right.
mean, we make homemade pizzas quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
And so we just put all our like we call I think more of like a macro topper where we just put all the macros we possibly can to like finish out the day on these pizzas.
Yeah.
And so I mean, it's not. I don't think we crave pizza very much.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I would say if anything, there might be once every 3 months we'll order Domino's, but that's about it.
Domino's.
So
It's legit. Have you guys ever been to Black Sheep?
yes, we did once, and I think it was a New Year's Eve drunk purchase. So I think that was about it. And I don't drink very much, so no one get that wrong. I'm actually pretty good
Yeah.
about it. So no, it was I think this was before I started working with Matt too. And that was the only time we had it, and it was the most expensive pizza ever. Like that was a
That
lot.
was delicious, right?
Yeah, it was well, I mean, when drunk pizza goes, you can't go wrong. I mean
Okay.
I,
That's fair.
so
What about Punch?
Um, I think we've been there a couple times. Honestly, my favorite pizza place it would have to be Surly Brewing Company. They have so in their new location, I mean, their new place is massive, but on
Yeah.
the top floor they have a pizza place, and it's really expensive. We've only gotten it once just because it was expensive, but it was,
Okay.
I mean, it was money. It was
Yeah.
one of the best pizzas I've ever had, and they name them after like movie and TV show characters, so it's pretty good stuff.
Okay. Interesting. I'm
Yeah,
coming back in August, so maybe I'll check that place out
yeah,
versus
I
the go-tos.
highly recommend it.
Okay. Sweet. Sweet. So what's getting off of the food
Yeah.
subject here? So like what's next on the competition agenda? Like I'm obviously there's not a lot open right now, but I think Dakota Games has like a sign up, right? Or
Yeah, so I talked to Matt about this, and just with how everything is with COVID, I'm like, I don't want to do Dakota Games because
Mhm.
of um, it just being a sign up. I
Yeah.
would rather, because I mean, I registered for a competition because one of the gym owners one of the gyms I coach at, CrossFit 952 in Bloomington, he's like, hey, I'll pay for half of your registration fee if you go
Oh
out and
shit.
compete and like you wear 952 stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, like fine by me. But that
Yeah.
got canceled and or
Oh,
postponed, and they still haven't released a date, and they haven't done refunds yet. So I'm still waiting on when that one is.
okay.
Um, but I mean, right now I don't want to do Dakota Games because I don't train to compete against people that just sign up. I
Mm.
want to train to qualify and compete against people that are training. Uh,
Yeah.
because I would rather, and I don't get to, um, like with my schedule with school and everything, I train alone a lot,
Yeah.
and I very rarely get to go out and train with other fit people. So, um, with that, I would rather go out and compete against people that are training to see where I measure up,
For
rather
sure.
than people that are signing up for their first competition and doing RX when they shouldn't be,
Yeah. Yeah.
or whatever division it is.
There's
So,
some shade there. Did you have an experience with that or?
oh, uh, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I would say the game day competitions in Minnesota, they kind of irk me a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of their programming.
Oh, okay.
But I heard they changed some things. So if anyone does game day comps, sorry if your butt hurt. Apologize. Just my opinion. But
Man,
I heard they changed some things. I heard the programming is a little better. But I'm not a huge fan of just, I would rather compete against people that I know are like, they're trying to go to sanctionals, they're trying to go to the games,
yeah.
they're
You
trying
kind of
to be
want
the
to like,
fittest again.
yeah, like you want to compete against people that everyone earned their spot to that division type thing.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I want to, like, after watching DJ, like, I want to compete against DJ. I want to compete against people like that. And
Yeah.
I've went to MI5 and I did the training think tank throwdown with him. And I
Yep.
mean, just the way he moved efficiently, like through everything and beat me by like over a minute. I'm just like this is why I
Yeah.
want to like compete against people like you and train with people like you. I just
Yeah.
wish I had the time to travel to Lakeville and do that with him.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean that's what I would want to do that.
Yeah. For sure. For sure.
So
Yeah.
I think we're taking this year more as like a build year. And then he
Mhm.
said if like any comps come up, like partner wads or partner comps or stuff like that, go out and just do it.
Yeah. Right on. So nothing necessarily, no like Wadapalooza or anything like that.
Um, I mean, as qualifiers go, if something comes up or if I feel ready or like hungry to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess with how the whole fitness world is laying out right now, we're still kind of waiting and seeing.
No clue. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Man, I
yeah,
think they might bring regionals back too.
I did hear that. So I'd be stoked about that if they kept those,
And
or
kept
sorry,
sanctionals.
brought back regionals and then kept the sanctionals,
Yeah.
um, and did some hybrid. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that would be awesome.
Yeah. Because like at a sanctional, you're still going and competing against like legit people, you know?
Yeah.
So it should
Yep.
almost be like another qualification process for people who like maybe they take like the top three at the regionals and then at the sanctionals they take the sanctional winner or something like that. So it's
Yep.
like if you have a bad weekend at regionals, like you can still go to one of these sanctionals and win your event. Some
Yeah.
some sort of like yeah, some sort of combination of them would be real cool.
Yeah.
Definitely more community oriented because regionals were just they were so cool.
And I never got the privilege to go to one, to even spectate.
Okay.
So I know there's some people that would go down to Nashville for I believe it was the Central Regional, and that was still like
Yes.
when I was newer to CrossFit. So and they just said the atmosphere was awesome. So
Man, yeah. In I think I talked about this in DJ's podcast, but like so Central Regional was just stacked for teams. And I was helping out one DJ's team at the time. And like the last event of the weekend had like 6 or 7 teams, DJ's team being one of them, in like contention for a qualifying spot. And like there were like it was packed in the stands, like more packed than the individual side of things. And like it
yeah.
took me probably to leave. I was in the back, like close to the finish mat, and to leave it took me like 30 minutes because of people just like filing out, filing out,
Oh,
filing out.
that's awesome.
Like the event was clean and jerks, so worm clean and jerks,
Oh
and
yeah.
like at each like it's like 3, 2, 1, go, and it's like you hear some cheering, and then the first team moves up and it gets a little bit louder, and then they move up to the next one, it gets a little bit louder, and by the end it was just so loud, just people like screaming. It was sick.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So, yeah,
I hope they bring it back. That would be really cool.
yeah, it's a cool experience. So for sure. Is that so? Then you would obviously be looking to qualify for a regional spot or
Regionals, sanctionals. I mean, any of those next level things. I mean, that's the goal. And then obviously making it to the games would be up there as well.
Yeah.
But and again, and like I was saying, I train to compete. And that's my intentions. Funny story. So over quarantine, my fiance, she's like, "Do you even enjoy training?" And because that was the first time she actually got to work out with me every day. Like one of our gyms rented out equipment, and I was working out at the gym when they sent out that email. So I just took as much as I could. Sorry. And I put it in my parents' garage at the time because we didn't have a house that could fit that.
Okay.
And she trained with me every single day. And she's like, do you enjoy training? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you're so serious. And I'm like, well, I'm like that's my intent. Like, yeah, I'm in my mind, I'm having fun. Like, I'm enjoying this. This is a good time. And then she's like, you're just so serious. I'm like, cause I'm trying to like focus. I don't know. And then towards the end of quarantine, she got me a little looser and a little bit more dancey with music and stuff. But yeah, but I mean, that's the goal. I don't train to, I should say this. I don't train to compete. I train to want to dominate. Like I don't like, and I'm not trying to quote one of the fittest movies or anything, but like, that's my goal, is to train, like go out and dominate. I don't want to be a middle of the pack guy at any competition, or I don't want to make my first sanctional and be in the bottom just because I made a sanctional. I want to go and I want to be like in the top. Like that's the goal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you need to have that fire and that focus every day to be able to get there. So that's legit. Agree. Which do you feel is better for training? Do you feel like the focused you or the loose, like kind of like dancey you is better? And what songs do you dance to?
I would say you got to have a mix of both.
Yeah.
Because there's some days where I'm in the gym alone, and I mean, you don't want to train. People ask me all the time, they're like, how do you train alone? I'm like, I have to.
Right. It's not an option. Yeah.
It's not an option. Like, and then, so sometimes I have to be serious. And there's other times when like, I really don't want to train. So I have to try to make it as fun as possible for myself. So I'll put on like some Bohemian Rhapsody and I'll just be singing along to Queen or something. And just trying to get myself to squat a little heavier than I should be. And like, or do my deadlifts and strict handstand push-ups like we've been doing for the past, I don't know how many weeks now, Matt.
6 months.
Yeah. So however long it's been. So yeah, it just depends on the day. It's whatever gets you through your training and can put the best mindset for your training, I would say.
For sure. Can you elaborate a little bit more on like the idea behind like it's more like you just have to do it and it's not necessarily like you're thinking about training alone or anything like that? Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
I would say like, I mean, you got to convince yourself that like it's going to be a good training day. Like even if you don't want to, or if you're not feeling the best that you probably should be. In my mind, that's what that means, is that you gotta put your best foot forward no matter what. And you gotta hammer it out. Can you hear my dog snoring?
A little bit. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's my dog snoring, if anyone's curious. She's a loud sleeper.
That's funny. Does she ever like start running in her sleep at all or anything?
Not that I've seen. She moves a lot. We put her in a small kennel to start with, and it lasted 2 days. We had to give her a bigger kennel, and so she could move around in. So she's always moving. But so got off topic there, but she's snoring up a storm next to me.
That's funny. I think we can barely hear it. I don't know. Maybe somebody will tell us if they can hear it more in the podcast or something.
It's loud to me.
Yeah. So like, I guess like in order to do like train alone and like go into the gym and like see like deadlifts and handstand push-ups again, cool. Like you have to have a good understanding of kind of why you're doing something.
Yeah.
So like how did you cultivate your kind of why and your understanding of like, I know where I want to go and this is how I get there. Does that make sense? Or
Yeah. I just know it's something that, I mean, I put my trust in Matt, and I mean, he's done so much for me already. I know if he's programming something, it's for a purpose. And
yeah,
I know if something is next to each other or with each other in like a certain workout or in an accessory piece, I know it's there for a reason. So, and I know that I need to put my best foot forward, no matter what's on the to-do list. And I don't want to say a checklist, because I don't like that idea of you're just checking things off in training. I mean, there's a purpose to everything. And
yeah,
so I like to put the best foot forward, no matter just what's on there.
for sure, for sure. So it's more of kind of like almost like an inner drive of you wanting to make sure that you leave each training session like knowing that you put in your best effort for the day.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So like, is that something that was kind of like instilled in you from a young age, or did you kind of always have that concept, or where
Uh,
does that kind of
I mean,
idea?
it took me a while to actually develop it. I would say, especially with training alone, it's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but like my parents, I mean, they were great role models. My dad, I mean, he working at 3M. I mean, and in a corporate setting, I mean, it's not a always glamorous job, and there's days that they come home and they're crushing 2 bottles of wine and stressing. So I mean, seeing them do what they do, and my mom doing what she did to get all three of us. I have 2 younger brothers.
Oh,
Um,
nice. I have two
so
younger
we all,
brothers too.
yeah, we all played hockey. So my mom doing what she had to do to get us all to our hockey practices or games, and
Yeah.
seeing their hard work and their commitment and their drive to give us the best lives that we could.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, that was a huge inspiration. And then also it's the fact that like when I leave this earth, like I wanna be able to go in front of God, Jesus, and just be like, hey, I gave all my talent. Like I left it all out on earth for you. Like I used my brain, I used my body, I pushed everything to the limit. And
Yeah.
like I did everything I could. Like I hope I made you proud. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of, like, I would say that's those two things is really what drives me.
Yeah.
Uh, and then now with like getting married in October, like I want to make my fiance and my soon to be wife proud. So it's but it's also for myself. I know a lot of
For sure.
people say it's for other people and stuff, but a lot of it's for me. It's kind of proving something to myself that I can do it and I will do it.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's you might find like um over the years like you start to discover more about yourself and you find more reasons. But that was like a big, when I was competing, that was a big driver, was like I don't want to look back 20-30 years from now and wonder what if. Like
Mhm.
I want to make sure like every single aspect of my being was poured into whatever I was doing at the time. So
Agreed.
yeah, it's a great mentality to have. So
I try my best every day to have that mentality, and obviously some days are not perfect.
yeah, it's a lot harder on some days than others for sure.
Yeah, I
So,
agree.
well, right on. How do people find you here on Instagram or get a hold of you if they have any questions? You got a great mindset, so it might be some people might have some questions for you. I don't know.
I mean, Instagram is at __ Cordts. Never said my Instagram handle out loud before.
So many people. Yeah,
Um,
some people
so
forget it.
Braeden Cordts, or if you're in the Twin Cities area and you want to come to one of the gyms I coach at, typically you can find me at any day of the week. CrossFit 952 in Bloomington, and then Made to Live Fitness in Newport.
Right on. Where is Newport? I don't even know.
If you're on 494, it's just before Woodbury.
Okay.
So in between Woodbury, Inver Grove, and Cottage Grove, it's you blink on 61 there and you pass it.
Okay. So it's like northwest. Is that right?
North. It's on the east side of the city. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
southwest of Woodbury, but Twin Cities wise, it's southeast.
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, hey, you haven't lived here in a minute. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's been a while. Well, cool. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, for sure. If you guys are watching this on YouTube or found it on YouTube, please head over to our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. If you guys are listening or found this on iTunes, please head over to our Instagram and follow us on Instagram and subscribe to us on YouTube. We release some videos on YouTube, and we'll be releasing some more here. So, Braeden, thanks for coming on. I'm sure we'll chat soon here. So,
Sounds good. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good one.